Hi, Honest Discussioner here. I had an interesting thought occur to me. I've been watching a lot of the YouTube videos and seeing a bit of a pattern emerging. Now, what do you think about when you think of Christianity? Or I'm going to ask this to the non-Christians who are watching this. When you think Christianity, what are the first things that comes to your mind? This is a Rorschach test, an inkblot test, and you just see Christianity on the inkblot. You know what I mean. Like, what comes to mind? A YouTuber by the name of Healthy Addict had a video up, which was just an atheist and a Christian talking about church and religion and not debating, and they did a poll, basically. Asking people what they thought of Christians, and they did get, now I'm not saying this is Christianity in general, I'm just saying this was what the public perception of that is. It's associated with certain forms of bigotry against homosexuality, a lot of being very judgmental, creationist, pro-evolution, anti-evolution, and science, and that sort of thing. And I got to thinking, my stepfather, actually, when I was young, my hardcore evangelical stepfather, said that it is written in the Bible. Now, if this isn't the case, I could be wrong. I just remember him saying it. I have not actually seen this in the Bible, or recall reading it. He said that it says in the Bible that the faith will leave the church, and people will have to, follow Jesus on their own terms at some point, because the church will become corrupt or whatever. That's what he said along those lines. And I thought, if there is a devil, if Christianity is right, and there is a devil, then what is he really up to? Because I would argue that it would be a possible thing that would go through my mind is that he would be setting up the Christians to look like fools. And to be associated with these things such as bigotry and intolerance and lack of education. If you look at Potholer 54 Debunks video on the atheist morality, you can actually see that there's a relationship between religious areas and education, and it's unfortunately a negative correlation. Now, I'm thinking here that wouldn't that be a pretty good strategy if Satan? If Satan exists, wouldn't that be a pretty good strategy to get people keep people away from Christianity, to get them to start caring more about whether or not homosexuals are getting married, and not so much about the poor, loving towards promoting ideologies of judgment, of being judgmental. When I'm pretty sure one of Jesus' big pet peeves was not to judge. Now, Christians, I'm not trying to tell you what you as Christians should or should not believe. I'm just pointing out that I don't know if you guys are really doing yourselves any favors. Now, of course, I'm talking to the hardcore evangelicals out there, and not necessarily the moderates, but the ones that do hold these things. I mean, why is homosexuality such a big deal, and divorce does not seem to be, when Jesus really didn't like divorce at all, and really didn't like people being judgmental, and was really for people helping the poor, and yet people, all we see and hear about in relation to Christianity is stopping the gays and creationism in schools. I know this is not all Christians. I would hope, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I'd hope you realize that I am not trying to make any generalizations here. But I think that would be one tactic of the devil, which I don't think exists. But think about that. When you're doing these things, are you really helping your cause? Are you really is that really bringing people to Christ? Stopping the gays and those things. And also, I do have to say that Christians do seem to be at least associated with a high level of judgmentality, which I know isn't a word, but I think you understand what I mean. Again, not all Christians, but I get that a lot. They seem to be, a lot of the people that seem to be in each other's face with how they should behave and what makes them a proper person seem to be Christian in general, and probably other religions as well. I probably shouldn't be generalizing in that regard either. But I think it would be important to perhaps reprioritize or push for a reprioritization of what it means to be Christian if you really want people to not look at you as a not necessarily positive aspect of society. At least especially the right-wing evangelical things. Make Christianity about the moderates and about the love, which many Christians say that's what Jesus was all about, but that's not what it's seen as, is it? It's seen as the anti-gay party, basically, the anti-gay religion, and that's just the best example I can give right now is homosexuality, but I'm sure we can think of a lot of others. I just, speaking on the fly right here. So that's my thoughts for the day. I'll be posting another video hopefully this weekend. Also, Boss Man, I forget his numbers, has given me the Richard the Dick Coughlin 666 5-question challenge. I will be responding to that in due time. I have to come up with questions of my own first after I watch his video and answers and all of that. So, have a nice day. Honest Discussioner, out.